Johnny Sexton is now 35. His contract runs until next summer with the IRFU. No contracts are being discussed at the moment with the IRFU and centrally contracted players because of obviously all the issues of COVID. Johnny Sexton hoping to be there on the plane to France at the World Cup in 2023 when he'd be, nearly 38. And he can understand why the IRFU contracts are on hold.
Like, I'm sure the IRFU would have loved to have got their players under contract. You know, I know they would have liked to have started, but they can't because they need to be in a position to know exactly what's going out. You know, and be able to honour those contracts, and we understand that. We've been briefed on it through the Players Association, and it is what it is. You know, it's not ideal from anyone's point of view, but look, it's not a reason why our performances haven't been what they want. You know, that's just excuses, and we don't want to make excuses. But you know, obviously, tough time for a lot of people in the world.
Sexton's going to be around till the Rugby World Cup. This you would say is good news from Andy Farrell's perspective and good news from David Nucifor's perspective, because there's nobody putting their hand up to replace him. And if he wants to go on and he's got the determination to keep going, then there's no one else in town.
But is that not a failing on Irish rugby's shoulders, that there isn't anybody else in town?
You would say, yeah, and you'd wonder who's responsible for that. Like, it does also, I guess, give them a little bit of comfort, the fact that he wants to continue, because there was some speculation that maybe he was going to get to the Lions and say, right, that's it, I'm going to get into my coaching career, which is going to be very interesting as well when Sexton starts coaching. Like, you know, that's that next generation of
Sexton
player.
and O'Gara, Leinster, Munster coaches. When is that going to happen? That can be great.
I mean, Munster would want to think about when they want Rog to come back, because, like, he could end up at Leinster, you know. I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see him ending up at Leinster at some point.
Rog?
Yeah, well, why not?
That'd be a fun gift grub.
Best job in Irish rugby, isn't it? You pick up players.
Yeah, the academy as a conveyor belt.
You know,
and that's what Harry Byrne is interesting, and is Ross Byrne the answer at the moment? Got Harry Byrne. I'm interested to see how he gets on. But will Joey Carberry sort out his fitness issues? You'd hope so. But there is a lack of an understudy. I mean, we were like obviously the riches of having Sexton, O'Gara vying for that position, and back to Humphreys and O'Gara and back to Ward and Campbell. We've always generally had the competition for places for number 10. I think Johnny Sexton is a player that will play every single game until he's just told you can't play anymore. For the Irish rugby team, is like, even I was listening to the press conference yesterday, quite combative, spiky, saying, well, you guys might not think this about the way we're playing right now, but this actually is the way it is. So he has that fight, and even see the way when he was taken off there in France. Johnny Sexton will play to Ronaldo age. You play to 45 if he can. But who are those players going to be coming through that can make him worry for his place? And that's what's needed.
In a way, then this might also be very good news for Harry Byrne, because it means that Sexton will continue to stay at Leinster until the World Cup. Will Ross Byrne want to play second fiddle all the way through to that point, on the assumption that he'll then ascend? Meanwhile, his brother is actually nipping at his heels and could potentially overtake him. So maybe if you're Ross Byrne, do you think, okay, well, now's my opportunity to go and play non-stop for 2 seasons and then come back in time for the World Cup?
Yeah. And that's why the contractual issues are interesting at the moment. And English and French clubs are not exactly, well, especially English clubs are not exactly flush at the moment, although they're getting that bailout from the UK government. So a lot of interesting things contractually to happen next year.